Slovakia will strengthen Ukraine's air defense with its MiG-29 fighters, as officially announced by the country's Prime Minister Edward Heger during a joint interview with his Czech colleague Peter Fiala on the national TV channel. Such a decision has been on the table since the end of June, but its main condition was the other NATO countries' consent, in particular the agreement with Czech Republic or Poland to have Slovakia's back. The fact is, once the aircraft is transferred, the Slovak skies country will become almost entirely unprotected, because prior to that, Bratislava also handed over the S-300 air defense complexes it had in service. All that remains is a small number of obsolete Cub air defense systems. At the same time, Czech Prime Minister Peter Fiala confirmed that the air defense of Slovakia will be provided by the Czech Air Force. The term of deployment of such an air umbrella was set for September. Edward Heger also reported that the possibility of sending Slovak tanks is being considered as well, but he did not go into detail regarding the transfer of weapons and explained it by Ukraine's request not to disclose the amount of military aid. Defense Express notes that Slovakia has 9 MiG-29AS and 2 MiG-29UBS in service, according to the latest Military Balance Edition. These aircraft were modernized by the Russian Federation in the mid-2000s by installing new onboard electronics of Western manufacture, including an onboard computer, navigation systems, and multifunctional indicators in the cockpit. In 2018, Slovakia signed a contract for 14 units of F-16V jets worth 1.6 billion euros in total, about $1.7 billion. The first aircraft were supposed to arrive in 2022, but due to delays, they're expected later. As for tanks, the Slovak army has only 30 units of Soviet T-72M familiar to the Ukrainian armed forces. Bratislava also intended to replace those with Western models by 2023. Defense Express also reported earlier that Slovakia has donated 1 Mi-2, 4 Mi-17 helicopters, and ammunition for MLRS for the Ukrainian army, fighting against Russian invasion forces in the south of the country. At the same time, Italy decided to contribute to Ukraine's efforts by announcing the supply of heavy weapons, which are likely to appear to be German Panzerhaubitze 2000. Meanwhile, at least 3 people were killed and dozens of homes were damaged by explosions in the Russian city of Belgorod, near the Ukraine border, according to Russian authorities. Belgorod Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov reported a number of blasts in the city, which is some 40 kilometers north of the border with Ukraine. 3 people were dead and several others were hurt, including a 10-year-old child and a man who was hospitalized in serious condition, Gladkov wrote in a post on the Telegram messaging app. At least 11 apartment buildings and 39 houses sustained damage, including 5 that were destroyed, he said. Gladkov said that the cause of the blasts is under investigation and that air defenses was supposedly triggered. Several videos of the purported airstrike emerged on social media overnight, including one posted by Igor Gherkin, a former Russian military commander. Another, shared by reporter Kyle Glenn, appeared to show a residential building on fire. Russian lawmaker Andrei Klishas accused Ukraine of shelling Belgorod and called for a severe response. The death of civilians and the destruction of civilian infrastructure in Belgorod are a direct act of aggression on the part of Ukraine and require the most severe, including a military response. Klishas wrote on Telegram, Moscow has accused Kyiv of several attacks on Belgorod and other regions bordering Ukraine since Russia launched its invasion of the neighboring country on February 24. The Russian accounts could not be independently verified, and Ukraine has not claimed responsibility, but Ukraine has described the incidents as payback and karma for Russia's actions, according to Reuters. The General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces said its air force had flown some 15 stories in virtually all directions of hostilities. Several pro-Ukraine Telegram channels and independent Russian media outlets also claimed the airstrike was a provocation by the Russian forces, citing photos purportedly showing remains of a missile from the Russian-made Pantsir artillery system. Newsweek could not immediately verify the claims. Taras Mishenko, the founder of Ukrainian technology website, said photos of the damaged buildings were shared on Telegram by Gladkov had been edited.